G'day, mate. Welcome back to Ixion with me, Jitty, for a special episode. A special extra episode because we already went and colonized Remus and met up and became one with the Ashen Guardi via Onitus. Yes, everybody likes a little bit of coitus. But today I decided, you know what, I'm really curious what happens if we go and look at Romulus. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to blitz through this a little bit, but I want to go and see what Romulus has to offer. We have ships going here, there, and everywhere, trying to get most of this done. We are going to fly the Tiqqun across to Romulus. Sure. We can start that off at least and leave this wonderful little asteroid behind. Comet. Whilst we also start the Remus events, because we're not locked out of making our choice between Romulus and Remus just yet, but we will do shortly. So we're going to meet with the Ashen Guardians and get that started. We're also still collecting a whole bunch of research. We have not a lot of research still to go. Sure, let's do that. Yeah. And Romulus we can't do yet because I haven't unlocked it. But we definitely know it probably exists. Probably. The fact that we're seeing it once again in a cutscene. Yeah. Probably exists. And quick look out the window. Yeah, definitely happens to be here. All right, so I don't need to make a decision just yet. We can do a couple of the Remus missions before we have to make a decision. So we can say hi to the Ashen Guardians, blah, blah. They'll tell us the temples, blah, blah. We're going to accept the offer to join with the Ashen Guardi, which is going to take another cycle. Meanwhile, I can't do Romulus yet. Romulus is locked behind choosing to shut down Eden. So we need to choose to shut down Eden. Once we've done that, we can then unlock Romulus. In the meantime, I don't know. No, that's locked. Can I do steel mill? Sure. And we'll throw in a mining upgrade as well. Alright, Remus. Okay, so we've now unlocked the ability to find the magical temples of the Ashen Guardi. We can even study their ways, and then we need to find these temples. One of course is there. The second one, of course, is here. And the third one is... where are you? There. Alright. And then I need to find some science ships to send over there. What's Faraday doing? Faraday, you can come to, well, there. Gear can come to straight to the Temple of Free Will. Ripley can go straight to the other temple. I can't remember the name of the temples. There we go, Temple of Merit, which was Faraday. We're going to send you to there. And Ripley, we can send you to the Temple of Common Sense. Okay, so when we get to the temples, we need to proceed through the temples. So we're going to grab one fragment. And then once one of these two get here, Common Sense looks like it's going to be first.
A science ship team has completed a task.
There we go. Open event. We can grab a second fragment. We can also say hi to Remus. And yes. Collect another 172 science because we like science. Then we have the choice of leaving Remus because the Ashen Guardi doesn't actually unlock until we have all three fragments. So if we collect that fragment and come on. Collect that fragment. This is the last second I have to make my final decision. Are we going to go for Remus or are we going to go for Romulus? As we've already done Remus, I want to check out Romulus. So we are going to whack the Eden deactivation on the outside of the hull, which...
Administrator, a new request.
That's the event I'm waiting for. So I need to go and check out this event, which means, Eden does not want to be shut down, really does not want to be shut down. So I can continue the Eden disconnection procedure and colonize an attempt of Romulus, or we can stop disconnection procedure and turn to the planet Remus. We're going to go for Romulus this time around. So if we look back in here and we unpause you, we should have Remus no longer have a option. Also, if we choose the Templar of Merit very, very quickly before this is done, so it's at 99% complete, we can take forward time. We can complete this event, find the last piece, but unfortunately, as you can see, the objectives up in the top left-hand corner have changed, and the Temple of Merit is no longer very meritful. It says we retrieve the fragment, but if we check out our research, it's not unlocked. So yeah, that sort of brings the end to that real quick. Let's throw in, sure, let's make nuclear power plants cheaper to build, because that's a high priority at this time. All right, we can now colonize Romulus. So, administrator, the crew of the scout, supervise colonizing procedure. We have access to the Romulus data. No more Eden protocols will keep us from the planet. We should start by building the necessary infrastructure. However, there is a small issue. Romulus atmosphere will make mass population transfer down to the planet difficult. Using cargo ships will result in a loss of 70% of colonists. Chlorine in the upper atmosphere will cause strong aerodynamic heating, which our cargo ships are not built to withstand. Okay. Funnily enough, we don't have any losses whilst doing dropping off the first experimental colonists with the few bits and pieces they want to get stuff built. Just throwing that out there. All right. In the meantime, we're going to send gear across to there. Remus, you can go to there. Faraday can go there. Scout is at Romulus. Ripley is in the Temple of Common Sense. You can come there. And the other gear is at the Temple of Free Will, and they can come across to here. Meanwhile, we are trying our hardest to get bits and pieces down to the planet. At the same time, we're defrosting our last 40 peepsicles, and we've got a new event. That's what I'm looking for. So, Minister, this is Pagalia, from the scientific sector or scientific syndicate of Sector 1, the EMV Chevron shuttle, the one we originally arrived on, is still stored within the Tiqqun. If we were to recondition it, it could carry a lot of people and many more than a cargo ship could. I mean, its heat dissipation ability alone gets me excited. We've prepared the project in the tech lab. We can break down the shuttle's plans, replicate the design, and build more shuttles. All of the crew can reach Romulus. Excellent. So we now have our Romulus colonization, which means, if I look in the docking bay, we have a research. So we're going to do that. We'll throw that back in the queue. And in 2.4 cycles, we'll now know how to make shuttles. In the meantime, population-wise, Sector 4 is the only one that matters, because you guys are slowly converting everybody into... colonists. Also, it turns out I've maxed out microchips. Can you have a whole lot of microchips, and you have a whole lot of microchips, and you can have a whole lot of microchips, and you can have a whole lot of microchips? Yep. We also should probably at this stage start actually mining materials, because that's been turned off since basically we got here. Nope, we still have carbon. Never mind. Don't bother getting carbon. Lucian and Diaries. Yep, no idea where you have enough silicon in there. Alright, the research done. It is now. Okay, we're going to grab Fire Station 1 and 2 because we can. And we now have access to build shuttles. We need to construct the Syndicate site, which we'll go look at in a minute, and build some shuttles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, the more the game lags, the more likelihood I have clicked the button enough times to have the correct amount of shuttles. We'll have all those shuttles. We'll also say, hey, I'd like polymer in here. And you know how you guys were making a whole lot of microchips? Can I have polymer instead? Because each one of you are going to do 33 polymer every 10 cycles, which, as we're making a bunch of shuttles, will probably add up very quickly. Sector 4, polymer 0. Alright, out to here, Romulus. Okay, the administrative site has been built. Energy facilities are operational. Oxygen recycling systems are up and running. The site is being maintained at an optimal 18 degrees. As an Australian, I just have to mention 18 is very, very cold. like 22, 22, 23, even out. I'll even settle for 24. 18 is just chilly. We've also collected some relevant data on the atmospheric entry issue and have sent this back to the Tiqqun to support efforts here. Excellent. Okay. Construct the syndicate site. So we're going to send back good old Santa's sleigh down to help. And in the meantime, we are down to zero peepsicles. So if I go back to Sector 1, yes, we're all out of peepsicles, which is great. As for Sector 4... population management. So I have 131 non-workers and 132. They're still arriving. 133, 134, 135. Where are they all coming from? Are we done yet? 139, no. 140. Obviously, it took them a little while to defrost and get their ass over here. Okay, 140. Okay. And if we check on this, I have 141 non-workers. So I need to manually click the button to train the last lot of them. And then I have 0 workers left. But we'll find inside this cell housing, we're keeping a dog. Which I guess is technically a non-worker. Also, well, if we're going to train 141 of them, and we have a dog left over, that also means technically it's not a colonist. Just putting that out there. Yeah. We're always worried about what happened to the doggo. The answer is he doesn't make it. Doesn't matter what ending we choose. Whether we choose to land on Remus, where obviously he doesn't go through the bioengineering, and Romulus, well, I guess he's not actually part of the crew and doesn't become a colonist. Yes. Speaking of colonization attempts, we have another event, which is right here. What? Sector 1 lacks food. Food transfer. Sure, I will place to transfer 556 units of food from Sector 6 to Sector 1. Oh, you actually have 0 food. Well, that's funny. Food. Oh, it's being shipped. You guys are supposedly out of water. Oh, look, I'll just turn you on. Yeah, no idea. No idea. Oh, because it all got loaded on the ship. It all got loaded on the ship, got sent down to the planet. Yeah, that's what happened to all the food. Oh, well, just ship some more in. Okay, meanwhile, section number 3, we have 7 shuttles currently, and we're still building out some more. Can I build a shuttle here, with a shuttle here, with a shuttle here, with a shuttle here, and you know what? We have some polymer in here as well. Let's build a couple of shuttles in here as well. Yeah, they've shipped exactly 0 food. That's funny. From 6 food. It is set to max priority. Yeah, no idea what all the drone ports are doing. Because we have so many drone ports. 24 units of resources at a time. You know what? I'll just turn on a second one. No, you were trying to import to there. Alright, can I get twice the amount of food imported? Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's going next door to pick it up. Yeah. No idea. No idea. It's alright. If we're quick, you won't starve too much. When's the next meal? 2.6 cycles. No, I need colonists into this sector. It's alright. If they starve a little bit, everything will be fine. We'll just dump them off on the planet. Science-wise, we can get the gateway. Very, very important. It's going to make, you know, it costs less microchips to open up the next sector. Mining ships, probe launchers. That's really about it. Meanwhile, we're up to 18 shuttles. You could build a shuttle. 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 And you could build another shuttle. Death toll stands at over 100. Really? What? What? Did we actually have people die off? No, it doesn't. It's 92. We do have a fire, which is probably bad. 40 crew members, 40 from starvation. No, somebody actually managed to starve. Okay, there you go. Where were we? We were looking at you. You're still cranking them out as fast as you can. We have the 20 shuttles. We've managed to move exactly 0 food, so things are definitely broken. And oh, there's no food being shipped in. Oh, you're entirely broken. Okay, so hang on. Food from 6. Let's not ship it to anywhere. Let's turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. That off. Oh, hang on. Is it cryopods? It's cryopods. Okay, turn that on. 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 And you are still... Yeah, you're now shipping out to everywhere. From the looks of it. Cryopods off. Yeah, food is now being shipped in. It's all because cryopods got turned off. And that broke it entirely. Because it didn't have anywhere for cryopods. Because this one no longer needed cryopods. Yeah. Alright, in the meantime, build some more shuttles and transfer. So we've transferred 75 in currently. No idea how the hell we're going to transfer in 500. That's a slightly different issue. You are set to max, yeah. Yeah, the only way that happens is if we transfer it in and then transfer it onto another sector. Meanwhile, population management sector 4 is down to the one non-worker being the doggo, and we're just waiting for Romulus. The Paranesi is still getting closer, slowly, very, very slowly. Do I have any resources locally? There's some hydrogen. There is. I'm really looking for... No. I was sort of hoping for some closer carbon. Not really worried about carbon so far. In fact, Sector 2 is still trying to remove the last little bits of carbon that they happen to have in the stockpile that's meant to have steel in it. Okay. So we've dropped off everything. Can I build some more shuttles whilst we wait? And back to sector number 3. We're up to 32 shuttles and counting. And we have, what can we research? Mining ship. Yep, we can get a mining ship upgrade with a mining ship upgrade. Probe launcher? Improved wiring. Yeah. Probe polymer cost reduced by 1, because that's super, super important at this stage of the game. Yeah. Alright, let's mine resources 30% faster. And let's have eco probes. So polymer cost is reduced by 2. So now probes will cost 1 polymer. Okay, new event. Ensure no accidents occur in Sector 2 for 15 cycles. Crew members died in accident whilst working on a steel mill in Sector 2. I'd like to remind you, poor working conditions and power overload lead to accidents to the death of a crew. A dead employee cannot contribute dollars AEC operations. I don't know how. Oh, we got extra working conditions. Well, that would be how. Why? Because 10 people have died off in Sector 2. Can I ship from 4? 4 to 2 workers, shipping an extra 10. Yeah, 10 must have died off. There's 12 injured. Yep, it was just enough to tip the scales. That still says 790. You know, that says 800. 10 workers have arrived. We're still at extra hours. Yes, I have 195 out of 176. This says I have 182 available. And I need 176. And yet it's still complaining. Is tech finished? No. Look, we'll turn off the happiness center. There you go. You're now less happy. I'll turn off that instead. There you go. You're still just as happy now, but yeah. Alright. Romulus. Okay, the city site is finished. Agricultural systems are operational. The infirmary is ready to be stocked. And research labs have been set up, all the necessary equipment. We've completed more than half of the work required to successfully colonize Romulus. Construct the Ashengate site. Yep. We're going to again send in Santa's sleigh, which will grab more food. That means at least that we have a slightly better chance of finishing this. I know we managed to somehow finish the other one. An eco probe's now unlocked, so a probe now costs 1 polymer. Doesn't affect the price of missile countermeasures, which could actually be helpful, but probes costing 1 polymer is, yeah, pretty redundant. Alright, shuttles. Build queue is still, no, it's still massive. It's fine. And you guys are making polymer. Sector 2. You can do some shuttles. You can do a shuttle. You can do a shuttle. You can do a shuttle, because why the hell not? And actually I should make sure Sector 2 has polymer on hand. 30. 30. We don't really have any polymer. Sector 1 is set to, well, 60. Sector 3 should be set to 300-ish. Yeah. And we're waiting for Santa's sleigh to take down all the equipment. We'll throw a shuttle in on the end, because why the hell not? And then we got 3.7 cycles. Meanwhile, Zarya is slowly worming its way across the map. Very, very slowly still. How have I managed to have accidents, no accidents in Sector 2 for 8 cycles? It's somewhat impressive, considering how often accidents go off. Yeah, it's very impressive. Yeah, it's super impressive. Okay, Sector 1 population has dropped by 200 ish because of the amount we've dropped off on the planet. Meanwhile, have some more shuttles. You were still cranking out shuttles, right? Yes, a lot. Okay, so we've now done the last site. Alright, so from here I have 2 choices. I have 2 more choices. We always have more choices. That is the game Ixion. It's all about choices and events. So my 2 choices are, well, actually, let's try Romulus. Construction of these sites be completed. Multifactory will allow us to transform the raw materials of Romulus into usable resources. Vehicle storage bay and technical maintenance rooms are operational. The first human city on Romulus has just been born, which then we need to leave Romulus. I don't know why the scout team's coming home to then go back and land on the planet, but that's fine. That's fine. So my choices from now are 2. I can wait. We could leave the Binasari to take out Remus, at which point we are the only colonists of the Ilia system, and we're guaranteed that, well, we won't have any further interference from the Ashengites. Or we could choose to fly the Tiqqun into the Binasari right now and take it out before it gets there. It's entirely up to you which one you choose. For right now, I think we're going to Well, I'm pretty sure the cutscene's the same no matter what. You know what? We're going to fly into the Pinasari before it gets there. It would sort of feel bad if we left the Ashen Guts to die. So, let's go colonize Romulus by taking out the Pinasari. Oh, actually, I'm curious. How many shuttles are we up to? We're up to 63, which means we're going to be loading about 80 people on each shuttle. That actually sounds like comfy seating. They only wanted 20 originally. All right.
Administrator, if you are listening to this message, it means the Tiqqun has reached its destination, despite the unpredictable parameters that framed the equation of its journey. The crew have found a new home, whether the one planned for or another. These survivors have already begun to lay the foundations of a new cradle, where creativity, invention, and joy can bloom again. Perhaps you already understand why I insisted, why the mission launch was precipitated. When I discovered that the lunicalism was inevitable, I also understood that any attempt to save our species after this would have been doomed to fail. You took the helm in the only launch window available to us. Thanks to you, our efforts, our mistakes, our sins and sacrifices will sink into oblivion, into the past, while the first pages are written for a newly born humanity.
And that is the ending if you choose to, well, land on Romulus instead. We did save Remus, technically. We chose to land on Romulus. The question is, what happens if we don't choose to save Remus? That's my last and final question. So, the final question, what happens if we don't save Remus? What happens if we just hang out around Remus because, you know, it has the best seats to see what happens when the Pinasari gets here? Also means I can have a second to chat about what my thoughts were on Ixion, because this is not inside my normal genre of, well, an event-based game. I normally play a lot of logistics style games, and, well, those of you who have found my channel due to Ixion, I do invite you to click subscribe if you haven't already, because I've thoroughly enjoyed this. It's been very different to what I'd normally play, and I look forward to DLC, because I'm willing to bet there is going to be DLC for Ixion. Now, in saying that, yeah, a lot of people have asked me what about the replayability, and I do have to say, with all the experimentation I've done, and this is technically the 4th time I've finished the game, there is still a lot of replayability. There are even events that I haven't unlocked throughout 4 playthroughs, along with
Open your eyes, Administrator, and see how I reduced the prospects of the future. They are only fit for assimilation in my bowels. See how even a planet is nothing compared to the perfect being.
Okay, yes, closed transmission. I have played through the game multiple times. There are events that I haven't even triggered, even though I've gone digging through the save files to look at lots of different triggers and information about the game. Things that aren't presented to the user normally. I've gone digging through the save files to find more information to present you some of the tutorial videos that I have presented, along with, well, there were a bunch that I just didn't get time to actually get recorded prior to going away. Yeah. Everybody takes a break over Christmas, myself included. So, I am interested. I am interested in what the game holds in the future. I am also interested in the DLC, because considering the amount of what I would consider to be useless data they're saving inside the save files, I'm willing to bet when a DLC comes, you can take your existing save game forward into, well, whatever decisions you had into the very next game. And the Pinasari visited, and left another dimple on this wonderful planet. Yeah, if we check map view, we can see that it has definitely arrived. And if we hang around for another couple of cycles, it'll change direction and go over towards Romulus. It does take a while to do so. I know it's done so. It's now moving along, ever so slowly. I'm actually interested now. What happens, is that the closest? That is 1.9, that is 1.9. All right, we're going to head over to Romulus. I'm interested in what happens if we fly back. I'm interested if the picture of the planet changes substantially. Can I pause and look at the exterior view? Oh yeah, that has changed substantially. Yeah, that's the look of a planet that had an oopsie. Yes, yes. Now, at this point, I can still fly the ship into the Pitasari and take it out. Yep. We could also hang around long enough. I think it's another 50 cycles or something for the Pitasari to make this gap, because it's not a fast ship, and if we do that, we then lose the game entirely because it took out the Romulus. And honestly, if you want to see that ending, I'll let you guys pull it up for yourself. All you got to do is AFK for a little while and wait for the cutscenes. But I'm not going to include it in this video because this video has taken well and truly long enough to do. I do want to say thank you guys to everybody who has joined me for this lovely series. The game has definitely had its own pimples and its own issues, and even though it is a final release game, it's not an early access game, it's definitely had some teething issues. That's a nice way of putting it. We're also up to 85 shuttles. Remus has been vitrified. The Pitasari has killed the planet. There's nothing left on the surface. Yeah, we were just looking at that. I'm glad that you told us about it far too late. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It was a feature. The planet was always like that, I promise. We're just not feeding people again? You were just not feeding people again. What is the issue this time? It's not cryopods. It's definitely not polymer. It could be cryopods, actually. Although... maybe? Although you've now got food. I assume we have food? Yeah, we have a lot of food. Sector 2 just got gypped out, probably because they're trying to move around cryopods that don't exist. Sector 3 is fine. Yeah. Yeah, the moving around resources, it's wonderful when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's a little bit frustrating to work out why it's not working. And yes, there's still a few shuttles that we're trying to build. Same with sector number 1. Yeah, a few shuttles we're trying to build, because why not? Look, like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed the game. It's been a blast to play. I am looking towards DLCs, or forward towards DLCs. And as I've mentioned already, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to get notified about those. And lastly, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all the new people who have joined the channel, found the channel due to Ixion. There are many other series, many other games, many other videos that may interest you. So I invite you to have a poke around whilst you're here. Anyway, with all that said, I am definitely going to end this series here. It's been a blast. Thank you everybody who has joined me for both the original ending plus this alternative ending with a Romulus rather than Remus. But, yeah, with all that said, I think it's time to fire up the Ixion and call it a... Fire up the Tiqqun and call it a day. Well, with all that said, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. It might be a different video. A different video on a different game on a different subject. But, yes, it's been a blast. Thank you for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the very next video. Alright, bye.